What's up guys, we're back again. Today I'm going to be doing a video on installing a shift boot, a new leather shift boot like this in your Acura RSX, or for you JDM heads, your Integra. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to show you how to remove your old boot, how to put the new boot on, and I also got a new collar for it, so I'm going to see how this new collar works out. So let's check it out. I'm here in my kitchen. I already removed the shift boot area. You would put your shift boot down, remove the shift knob off to the side, slide your cup holder open, pop this up, and then make sure this slides out. And then I brought mine inside. So that's what I have here. Here, when you look under, you're gonna have some staples. Now I've started prying these staples open. It would look like that. Okay, these staples are not hard to pry open. I use a small little screwdriver like this. Now one-handed, let's see if I can hold it and do it at the same time. Yeah, I can kind of do it with one hand. I kind of put it in there and turn it. Okay, I need my other hand. But I put it in there and turn it. Same thing, let's try over here. There and turn it. There we go. Sorry, I can't hold it with my other hand. Can't hold the console. But that's what I do. I simply stick it in, pry it. Then what I do to make it easier is after I pry it open, I'll get some needle nose pliers and I'll straighten that out. Let's see if I can get a good view on it. Straighten it out. I don't know if you even saw that. Sorry, it's moving while because I can't hold it. Well, I straighten out the curvature to it to make it straight, which I've done already over this one. I haven't done yet, but like on this side, opposite side, I straightened them out so I can pull it straight out. And you can reuse these. I've seen people reuse their staples. They basically, once they put the new one on, they just kind of cut it right through it and reattach them on. Now the ring up top will hold it on. But I want to try to go for that OEM fastening on the bottom with reusing the staples. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're going to at least try. So right now I'm going to go ahead and finish removing all these staples. And we're going to take a look at this boot. All right, guys. I got all of these staples pried open. And I try to straighten them out with the needle noses as much as possible by squeezing like this. Straightening it out and kind of maneuvering it to where it looks like it's straight. So I can straighten it out when I completely remove them, so I can have better chance of inserting them back in. But all I'm going to do now is go around the back, like back here. Excuse that. Go around the back, like back here. And I can't hold it at the same time. But I can go back here and I can pry this out by turning left and right on each corner. You can pry them out. Okay, just be very careful. See, look, it's already coming out with one hand. I'm not even trying. But be very careful. Look, there it goes. Because you do not want to break this plastic piece. That's what your boot is going to. And there's one out right there. So here's one of them out. I straightened it as much as I could. See, it's pretty straight. I can go through and finish straightening it up even more, so it goes back in easier with the needle noses. That's really easy. So I'm going to save that off to the side. This way I can reassemble it with them. You don't have to use them because the ring will hold them. But I'm going to try to get as close to the OEM as possible. I'm going to go ahead and finish off all the rest of these, taking them out through the back with a small screwdriver. And we should be good. Let's check it out. I did want to show you this. There are times where you're trying to pry the left and the right and only one side will come out. That's where you can grab the needle noses and kind of grab on the end. Oh, sorry. That's when you can get to use the needle noses and you can actually grab the other, why is it not focusing? There it goes. You can grab the other side and pull it out with the needle noses and it'll come straight out, especially since we straightened them ahead of time. So just wanted to let y'all know that. Sometimes one side may not want to just wedge out so easy. Just use the needle noses and pull them out. Once you remove all those, the shift boot just pulls right out. So you can just slide it straight out on all these different areas. And start pulling it out. It'll come out of its seated area, and whoops, I don't want to drop anything. You see it just kind of comes out these little slots. So that's what you do. See, they come out of these little slots. That's where they come out. And then we got to have our clip ring that'll hold the rest of it. It really holds it down, that little circle on top, that silver circle. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the boot, then I'm going to pop off that silver trim, and that goes on last. So let's finish taking them off. I just want to show you can slide it right out once everything's removed. And I went ahead and put them here in a certain order like they originally came off. I'm just anal like that. There's no reason for it, but I did it, so sorry. This ring, there are these... Why am I not getting good focus in this video? There are these little... Just trying to focus beyond. There we go. So you'll notice that there's this little tab. See that little black vertical thing right in the middle? That is what's holding these this ring on. There's some on all corners. So you got to push the silver ring off of that little tab and slide it down. So I slid down the top already, out of the way, so it's no longer held there. And you can see it's lifted right here already, a little bit. See? You just got to do that to all corners. That's just dirt. There we go. Do that to all corners, and then you can pop this ring right off. Okay, guys, I went ahead and got it off. I noticed that if you pry on the here and here first and get those past, then the rest come out very easy. So once you pop out the top and the bottom and push it to where it lifts a little bit on the corner up here, where it lifts up on both sides, then the rest just pops out very easy. So I have the ring right here. I already popped it out. Be very careful because you don't want to break it. You know what I mean? This also gives you a good opportunity to clean it. See how dirty it gets from like soda and stuff like that, or whatever has been over the years. You can clean that ring real good if you want, repaint it, whatever. I'll probably paint mine black. I don't know yet. But just showing you guys, so this way you'll see the ring. Just be careful. Like I say, use a small little screwdriver. Take your time. Be patient. It's not that difficult. But yeah. So let's do that. Now let's try to put this new boot in. The new boot, we have to slide into all those little slots that you'll notice right here. See that hole right there? All these little holes, the boot just slides into those little gaps. And it goes on one way only because you'll notice in the RSX boot, they have one large tongue right there. That large tongue has to go in the one large hole for it on the actual shifter plastic. So let's go ahead and put this all in and let's see what we got. Okay. Once you got the boot inserted in all the slots, at all angles, make sure to check the top, make sure it's tucked in everywhere. I had to go through mine a few times because you can see how it pops out right there. Right now it's because I don't have it fastened at the bottom. Let's see, you need to check all those little spots and to make sure that it doesn't pop out like that. Now what I'm going to do to hold this is, see these holes that are there? Your original holes right there? You can push your staple in from this side because these aren't long enough to wrap over completely like the original. The original was a lot longer. These aren't. So I can push through this way and then close it on this side to secure it. A lot of people don't do it. They just use the ring. I want to make sure I try to get it as secure as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to push them through the inside towards the outside, and it should penetrate this leather. This is real leather I have. I know a lot of the ones you find online are like plastic or whatever, vinyl. This is an actual leather. So I know the vinyl will probably be easier to puncture, but I'll see how my leather does. I'll see how it works. Let me give it a try first. If it doesn't work for me, then hey, we're going to do the ring thing. See, here's mine. I went ahead and pushed it through. You'll notice it won't puncture because I'm using real leather. It's thick, real leather. If it was vinyl, it would puncture through, and then you'd bend it to secure it. But mine will not do that. We're going to have to pull it through as tight as possible and place that ring on it. And that's the best we're going to be able to do right now. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. I guess I could go through with some little knife and cut this, like give little slits to make it go through, or some kind of punctures. I'm not sure I want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, I went ahead and cleaned up my ring. I wanted to get the ring nice and clean, got all that gunk out of there. Yeah. I don't know if you can see. Man, I'm having a focus issue today. Let me see. It doesn't want to focus on the actual product. I wonder if it's the lighting in here. Anyways, I cleaned off all the gunk and dirt off of here. So the ring only snaps on one way. This is where the big tongue of the boot goes. So it only goes on one way. When you snap that in, it'll secure your boot from moving. Not only that, later on you can always go through, and if you decide to put the staples in, you can put them in. I still have mine right there. If I decide I want to make little holes, tiny holes, with like a needle or something, and then put them through, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and snap it in first, and then I'm going to kind of decide whether I want to do that or not. But this will hold it in place for me to fasten it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, guys, we got it on. Just want to let you know, if you do pick up the real leather shift boot, this plastic trim is a lot harder to press back in because it is a thicker boot than this thin little material. You can see how thin the OEM is. It's super thin. And this is really thick. So this is a real leather shift boot, so you need to be forewarned that this is going to be a little bit harder to push back in, but you can get it back in. Make sure you turn the ring the right way and press it in the right way. Yeah, it only goes on one way. So also at the bottom, if we wanted to later, we can actually attach the staples. And I don't know, I'm still debating whether I want to do it or not. One thing you do need to transfer over for a lot of people is your collar. Okay, this is the old RSX collar. I went ahead and bought a new collar from ICB Motorsports. So we're going to go ahead and use this collar. And I'm going to test it with a regular Honda nut. This is for the OEM shift knob. I don't have an OEM shift knob. But this is supposed to work with all shift knobs. So we're going to give it a try and see how it does. Okay, the next step is you actually want to turn your boot inside out. Okay, because this is how we're going to attach the new collar. This one is I believe it's, I don't know if it's the JDM collar, but it came from ICB Motorsports. The wrinkled side is what should be facing up, so we're going to put it upside down. And it's going to go in here like this. And then I'm going to zip tie it here. The zip tie will strap around here. That's what this groove in the center is for, to accept the new zip tie they gave us. If you're reusing your old collar, you need to do the same. You need to turn it inside out and then cut off the old zip tie and put a new one. So, you know what? Let me go ahead and show you all the old collars so you can see what you need to do. This is a new collar I got from ICB Motorsports. I'll put the link in the description so you can see what I'm using. And the boot. I'll go ahead and put both of those in the description. Here is the old boot. You can see exactly what we're doing here. They went ahead and put this right on this is the old collar. They just basically slid it in and zip tied it just like we were going to do. So that's exactly how that's going, and we're just going to do that on the new collar with this being flush here and the good part facing downward and zip tied. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, I went ahead and got the boot on over and tied on really well. Okay, I gave more of the slack up front here because this side, when you have it over, is going to be the side you see more towards you. And any extra, you won't really see because it's towards the cup holder. So I went in and zip tie this really good. If you want to put another zip tie, go ahead and double zip tie it. I don't know if I will, but I think one single zip tie is good. Cut that extra piece off, and then I'm going to turn it inside out, and we'll see what it looks like. So let's check it out. Okay, guys, one thing I noticed with this really thick leather shift boot is this is not enough to hold how thick that is. And it'll push this right off. No matter how tight you get this, it'll peel this right off because how thick this leather and strong it is. So I went and got a stronger shift boot. I got a stronger zip tie, and I'm facing it towards the front, so I won't, like I said, I won't see any bump. And also the extra is facing towards the front. Also, I sunk it in deeper to see if it'll help prevent that situation where this just slid right off like nothing. Like nothing, no matter how tight I got it. This is really thick leather, so using a bigger a bigger zip tie to hold the shift boot, because it is a thicker shift boot. So let's give it another go. So I went ahead and got it through, came to the other side. There is extra slack on this side, you can see. So when I put the knob on and everything, we'll see how it looks. It has to be broken in. It's really thick leather, so it needs some breaking in to get it to be flexible. But I'm gonna go put it on the car and see what it looks like with the knob on. Let's check it out. Hopefully it looks good, but this leather is very stiff and it hasn't been broken in yet, so let's see. All right, guys, so I went ahead and installed the boot. I got the boot in here. Now, this is like a OEM, like old school Honda type boot. It seems like the collar. It says it's for an RSX. I'm sure it would work if you use a regular RSX shift knob, because it has another plastic piece that inserts up into the shift knob and then it attaches to this. The actual thick leather boot, I don't know how I feel about it because it's so thick it kind of hangs over here. The thinner ones like the OEM would probably look a lot better. Maybe this will break in and look better. But right now, it's at least you have the process of how to install a boot in your car. This is just my 10th gen knob in the RSX. So it's good for now. But I think I'm going to replace that collar. I don't really like that collar. I may go with, I'm going to talk to Strut King. I know he makes some RSX collars. And I'm going to see what that collar would look like with this boot. And a different aftermarket knob. This one's off my 10th gen, if you're wondering what knob that is. My 10th gen has an aftermarket knob, so I put this one on the RSX. So, yeah, guys, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Maybe when this boot breaks in a little bit, because it's really stiff. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. Kind of bothers my hand. It's like so thick, it's in the way. We'll see. But either way, guys, at least you got to see how to install a new shift boot on your RSX if you do want to do a shift boot installation on your RSX. Yeah, I don't know if I can recommend right now the real leather boot. You may want to go with like a vinyl boot that's more similar thickness to OEM, because we all know OEM is not real leather. It's just some little vinyl. So yeah, guys, I'll still give you the links if you do want to go for the OEM. I mean, not the OEM. The leather boot that's really thick. Like I said, we'll see how it breaks in over time. Right now, I'm not really feeling it, but it may grow on me. I also may test out a different collar here, the Strut King collar. This is an OEM Honda collar. I don't know if it's off a Type R or what it's off of, but I don't know. Not really feeling it. I mean, it does look old school, so I guess if I ran a different knob, it does look old school and it's fine. But I guess with this specific knob that I'm using and this curvature here, I do not really like it. I may try a different knob and see how I feel about this boot, but right now I am not really liking it. So guys, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to show you this. I'm glad you got to check it out with me today, and hope you enjoyed the video. Try to just keep it simple and informative for you so you'd know how to put a boot in your car on your own. And that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. This video was a little all over the place just because I was kind of just, I don't know how I feel about it. But it doesn't take away from what you have to do, the process. So, sorry guys, I'm not super excited. It just, I don't know how I feel about this boot, but now you know how to put a boot in your car. So, guys, have a great day, and see you next time. All right, guys, quick note. I did go outside and try a different shift knob right now. And it was the shift knob for sure. Once I took off that 10th gen knob, and I tried some random knob I had inside my toolbox, it felt way better. And I think I'm gonna give the hard leather time to break in and get a different knob. That knob just feels horrible. I did change it out in my 10th gen for another circular knob, but the problem with the 10th gen knob is it's circular on top, but then it curves out like a vase on the bottom of the knob. And when you're shifting, that vase thing like just gets in the way of my fingers. I don't like it. It's like a little curve like this at the bottom of the ball, and I don't like it. So yeah, I tried a different knob, way better. We're gonna let that boot break in, and we'll see what knob we end up getting. I have a few ideas, and my daughter picked one that was super expensive, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna get that one. But we'll see, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just letting you know. Have a great one.